Good morning, buenos dias a todos. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month. I hope you are well, staying positive and focused on what you can control. My name is Patricia Mota. I'm currently serving as President and CEO for the Hispanic Alliance for Career Enhancement, a national nonprofit organization whose mission since 1982 is to positively impact workplaces by cultivating the pipeline of Latino talent, providing Latinx the insight, access, and development to be successful in their careers. A few updates, announcements. Continue to share your story with My Career, My Way campaign. We want to be able to feature you, highlight, and really share your story in terms of your career trajectory and your background and your story. Also, if you are looking for your next career opportunity, we are holding a specific recruitment series event on November 3rd. Focus on retail services with companies that include Nexcom, US Foods, and Stericycle. So please go to our website, aceonline.org, to get more information and to register. And thirdly, ERG Symposium. So some of us, employee resource groups, business resource groups, affinity groups, networks, we are offering an opportunity for you all to convene, to share best practices, to connect. If you're interested in learning more, please go to our website or email partners@aceonline.org. And I know we're getting ready to wrap up Hispanic Heritage Month this week. It's been a jam-packed month, but continue to reach out to us if there's anything we can do to support you. We have one of my colleagues here, which you may have been able to meet before at our Cafecito, Roger Garcia, who is our Partnership Development Manager at HACE. ¿Cómo estás, Roger?
Buenos dias, Patricia. Thank you for having me here.
Roger, you are now some time in at HACE, right?
Yeah, I started in March, so I have some months under my belt. Felt like years, but it's great work, hard work, but it's always I enjoy it. You know, I feel like I don't work just because of what we do here. I love it.
Awesome. And part of Raj's role is really helping lead our partnerships across the country, ensuring that, right, we're getting deliverables met, we're providing the customer service and the excellence to ensure that they're supporting our joint mission and building more inclusive, equitable, diverse workplaces. And so, Roger, for those of you who haven't had a chance to get to know you, right, the last time around, share with us, how do you like your cafecito, your morning beverage of choice?
I like caramel latte. No, I'm playing. I like green tea. I just drink green tea.
I was like, that's not what you said last.
Yeah, green tea is my choice to drink in the morning. First thing, yes.
And Roger, tell us about your background, your cultural, your career trajectory, how you got to where you are today.
Yeah, background. Parents, I was born here, first generation born here in the United States. My parents are from the Dominican Republic, so I'm a Dominicano, que lo que. We moved here to Indianapolis, where I'm currently at, when I was young, but it was, me and my dad just wanted a better opportunity. And that kind of helped me kind of figure out what I want moving forward in the career I chose, and, my background is finance with minor economics. And so it's just like trying to help my family, but also our culture in that sense of industry. And I got connected with ACE at the beginning of this year. And I was like, this is how I'll be able to continue that kind of like that taking the risk and being able to have that conversation that, my dad took when he first came to Indy, just to give us a better opportunity at life. And that's what I want to create for moving forward for the next generation and for the communities now.
Hola, gracias, Roger. Hola, Edgar. And to all of those, Victor, buenos dias. Thank you for joining us. I hope you have your cafecito and you partake in this conversation. Any questions and comments? We want to hear from you all. We're going to talk a little bit more about what happened this Hispanic Heritage Month. And I laugh because it was a jam-packed one. I think for us, especially the mission that we have at ACE, it was great because this is something we do year round, but it gave us that extra opportunity to really shine light more than ever. And so it was an exciting time. And so we asked Roger, who was there really on the front lines with a lot of the action going on, right, Roger, with all of our partners throughout this past month. And so I know we want to hear from you all. What did you all do? What key things or takeaways happened? So please share in the chat in the comments. Roger, share with us what happened during this time at HACE during Hispanic Heritage Month with the partners, the companies, employers that we work with.
Well, we was busy, that's for sure. I think we confirmed like 82 speaking opportunity. That's including the event programs that we currently, leadership programs, the event programs that we have, but also requests that we receive from our partners as well too, to have many of our colleagues being able to have that speaking opportunity. Busy schedule for sure, but again, it's being able to kind of highlight what we do all year round in this month and be able to kind of have that conversation that needs to be had. Yes.
So a lot of speaking opportunities, some of those were either panel discussions, some of those were lunch and learn, so workshops from our curriculum and our content. Some of those were, speeches and remarks or just creating awareness around the economic contributions of the Latino community and the need to ensure that we are represented, that we are valued in workspaces and society. And so, Roger, can you share what some of those topics, specifically on the workshops, like the lunch and learns that took place?
Yes. For example, like this week I had 5 lunch and learns, if that does tell you. We have one today this afternoon. So some of the topics like unconscious bias, which was a very good topic that and not even relates only to our culture and our community, but to everyone. And that's why we also encourage allyship. We encourage everyone of our partners from their company to join us in this conversation and become a little bit aware. But we also have developing our brand, our identity, courageous leadership, which is another huge one. Let's see, building effective partnership and network, which is, I think, very key. And with the LinkedIn and being able to understand how we all can brand ourselves by using our identity and who we already are. And I think this is a very awareness of creating that awareness in these conversations that we can use past beyond our workplace as well too.
Wonderful. Yeah, a lot of great topics. And what I loved too was just the interaction and the engagement with folks that we had throughout the year. And we could not do it without our amazing program leads who are our subject matter experts that we contract to come and support the HACE mission by delivering a lot, because we couldn't do it all on ourselves. From those lunch and learns, a good majority was from them. And then we have our staff members, right, that are going in and speaking at events. And so what an amazing opportunity. I think one thing that I was very adamant during this Hispanic Heritage Month, and will continue to do so, is us understanding as a community the power that we have, right? The economic contributions, the 2.7 trillion GDP that we represent, and that Latinas are opening businesses faster than any other demographic group. And good morning to everyone. And the fact that, not only are we the youngest, but the fastest growing demographic, and they're achieving higher education, obtaining degrees more than ever. And so a lot of positive. But when you look at the statistics, right, let's say corporate America, senior executive roles, corporate boards still remains at around 3 to 4%. And that's been the case for the last decade. But there's a lot of key milestones, key actions that are happening that brings hope. But at the end of the day, not only for the Latino community, but for everyone, right? And you talked about allyship, Roger, and how key that was, a big conversation. It's about making sure that we're holding one another accountable. And so, Roger, what can we continue to do to make sure that everyone, and we want to hear from you all too, how do we continue to build off of this momentum that wraps up, right? Because Hispanic Heritage Month is from September 15th to October 15th. So we're getting ready to wrap up this week. What can we do to continue to ensure that we continue to build the work beyond Hispanic Heritage Month?
Yes. Like we've talked about this before, we talked, this is all year round work for us, and understanding that our culture, our identity just is not in 1 month. And it's what we do after this 1 month. This 1 month allows us to highlight, provide resources like what we have here at ASE, also information, knowing the, our culture, our Latinos, Latinx, Latina, the economic power that we have. And understanding this is allowing us to move forward and understand how we're going to take action, because it starts with me, starts with you, it starts with all of us, taking that action outside of this 1 month and understanding where we stand, understand who you are, and then taking that action, because you really can't take an action if you don't know who you are. And understanding that, being able to become aware and have this information, but also have the most important thing, having resources, as I said, being able to reach out and get this information so we can help one another and create that partnership, because we're not going to do it by ourselves. We do it together. And that's why we have so many corporate partnerships today.
Yeah, no, and thank you for that. And it's great to see, right, the conversations that took place and that really leveraged and continue to extend from the theme that we've had all year, right? The theme being that we lead at the intersection of identity, equity, and unity. And the identity piece was also a big one, I think, is to what you just said, right? Is how are we empowering ourselves to strengthen that foundation in terms of understanding our personal experiences, both good and bad, right? And how they have influenced us to become the individuals that we are, but also have influenced how we prefer to communicate, how we prefer to identify, how we prefer to lead, and how critical that is for us to build that foundation so that when it comes, those challenging times have come, and we all know that we have those, right? Especially the last 18 months, they will come and they will continue to come at an accelerated rate. How are we strengthening that foundation so that when that happens, we're able to take action, where we're able to speak up, we're confident enough to be able to do that. And I think the other great thing that I really loved is you talked about courageous leadership and really building the awareness that we all have a little bit of fear, no matter what your title, role or is. It's about being able to talk back to that fear and be confident that you have done the work and jumping right in, right, and taking action. And so I really, really loved that piece. And then the equity piece, I know, was sprinkled throughout this Hispanic Heritage Month in terms of really how are we meeting individuals where they are when it comes to programs, resources. And so ASE has been doing this with our Mujeres de ASE, with our emerging leaders, ensuring that we are building those leaders of the future. And there are many, and I see about the Latino ERGs, they are a big way that we supported. The majority of our lunch and learns were also led by ERGs, right? They came in, they helped facilitate, and so we're excited that they've been engaged. Anything you would add regarding your experience with working with all of, not only our partners, but specifically those that are taking the lead, volunteering their time to lead their ERG and BRG groups?
One thing I've learned even when I first started, like even just recently, is just how that's extra work for them. They still have their day work. They choose to take the leadership and take that action of leading a BRG group or setting up these these partnerships and these programs and these events that they know is very important inside their organization. It's been really great to have these conversations and where their story, where they come from, and their vision also in their organization. And that's been really neat to understand a little bit more who they are, how we can help, and what we can provide as ASE. So it's been really fun, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, we couldn't do it also with our ERG, BRG leaders, right?
That's right.
Again, employee resource groups, business resource groups, thank you for all you do. I mentioned it earlier. I hope you are able to join us on November 4th for the ASE ERG Symposium, an opportunity to network with your peers, but also share best practices. And I mentioned them because that's a big component of the equity piece that our employer partners are doing, are providing these affinity type resource groups or networks to be able to offer their employees a space. And it's not exclusive to that group, right? And that's something that we say at ASE is we are Latino serving, we are not Latino exclusive. Everyone is welcome to be part of the community, the ASE familia, no matter what your background, because it is critical that we are building unity and building allyship across all groups. And that's the third piece of our theme. And what I saw reflected and trickled throughout Hispanic Heritage Month is that we need to take action, really moving from building that awareness to getting to the advocate, becoming an advocate, meaning that if we see ourselves in spaces or in rooms that a voice is not represented, how are we doing our part to ensure that that voice is being heard and that is being included and is being represented? And so anything you heard along those lines as you were engaging in our Hispanic Heritage Month activities, Roger? And then we want to hear from you all. I think I did see on our LinkedIn group this week where there was cross collaboration with ERGs, which I thought was pretty cool for Hispanic Heritage Month as well.
No, that's great to hear. Yeah, that's great to hear. Yes, please, we'll love to hear a little bit more what the LinkedIn group has. Again, being able to be part of these lunch and learns and kind of work on the logistics parts and being there every single time has been like the conversation and what I see in the chat, and not only not going past the lunch and learns. For example, we have some of the top corporate partners, Verizon, Heineken, Kellogg's. We've had all these lunch and learns in an event for them. There's one particular, there's one individual, there's been multiple as well too, that's reached out to the outside of those lunch and learns because of how much of an impact it's created on them. And one of that comes to mind was, I think it was developing your brand. And she reached out to me because she said she needed more career coaching, but understanding who, identifying more herself, her identity, and how she can implement that in her resume, but also in her job currently, and kind of lead with that. And for her to reach out to us and for that help, that's what these luncheons and these events are for. It's for you to take action, see where you need help, and see how we can, and reaching out to us, see how we can help. And I think that's some of the, I enjoy it, and I love these conversations outside these lunch and learns when they reach out to us. So that's one of the stories of many of just ERG members and members that are not part of the ERG wanted to be part of the groups as well too. So yeah, it's been a fun ride.
I think we're wrapping up with they've all been really engaging and quite impactful, but I know we have one where we have special beverages being delivered.
Yes, and that's Heineken. And we got so creative with these as well too, just because we have so many. And they're called lunch and learns, but we have gotten creative. So for Heineken, it's going to be in the afternoon, and so it's going to be happy hour, and they're providing some beverage during that time as well too.
Oleg, thank you. So if you have a question or comment, please keep including them on the chat. We have a few more minutes. Edgar, it continues talking about the economic contributions and labor that we as Latinos contribute to this country are tremendous. It is important that we are educating ourselves, and then finances, right? Building wealth is a huge component of getting our community to that next level. And so I love that you bring that up, Edgar, because in terms of the equity piece, it is a component of our programs. The financial literacy, personal finance, and really ensuring that we're meeting individuals where they are and helping them get to that next phase and building financial wealth is such a critical component. Thank you all for your comments and questions. This has been such a great conversation. And again, I just want to emphasize that HACE is here beyond Hispanic Heritage Month. We're here year round. And yes, we had a jam-packed, but very rewarding and impactful month. We still have a few more right this week, Roger. What gives you, or what are you hopeful for, a positive story that gives you hope for now, the few months that we have left in this year?
Just hearing these success stories of people taking action and wanting to continue the work outside of the Heritage Month. And the hope I have is just one day that, Hispanic Heritage Month, Black History Month, all these culture months goes out throughout the year. And I know this is the work we're part of and a part of the vision is being able to kind of continue these last 3 months and be able to finish strong as well too.
I love that. And I think when you look at our latest census, Roger, right, not only are Latinos leading the growth of the US population, but there's also a huge percentage that's multiracial, right? Multicultural. Yes. And so that's the future of our country. And I think that Latinos as a community represent that intersectionality. And so I also agree with you. I think I look forward to that in the future as well. Gracias a todos for joining us today. Thank you for joining us today. Gracias, Roger. We appreciate your time. Y a todos, hasta la próxima. Until next time. Take care.
Thank you.